Hey, welcome back to Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, and I got a review for you today. Today we're going to be talking about IDW and Dark Horse Comics and Nickelodeon and Netflix presents Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Stranger Things issue number 2. It's a mouthful. It is written by Cameron Chittock, art by Fero Pe, colors by Sofie, Dodgson, and letters by Rus Wooton. I'm sorry if I mispronounced any names. It's not on purpose. So let's get into the review. Actually, before we do, like, comment, subscribe. On this guy's channel, it helps. I am trying to hit 1K eventually. It'd be nice, but I am getting close to that sweet 666 number, with Evil Comics. Alright, so enough of that. So at the end of the first issue, I have reviewed that. If you have not caught up, go back and watch that real quick, or read the first issue. It's pretty good so far. So we start off in this weird scene scenario. Now, to catch you up, the group has been split. The Ninja Turtles and the Stranger Things group is just the kids, but they have been split. We got one group, they got captured, but that's Raphael, Donatello, Max, and then Dustin and 11. And then on the other end, we have Leonardo, Michelangelo, and then Mike, Will, and Lucas are separate in the subway still, investigating what's, kind of like what's going down. And that's kind of where we are. We do start off with the scene right here. And it's basically 11 and Sheriff Hopper, and he's basically giving her this freedom pass to do whatever she wants, kind of thing. And then we go back to the real story. Hence, you get the title right here. So we have all the kids that got captured with the two turtles, and they're basically trying to figure out how to get out. The locks are pretty unbreakable. They don't have any weapons or anything. Raph is the one that he ends up using his rage, and he also figures out that even though the locks are unpickable, the doors aren't so great. But he ends up busting everybody out, and they continue, to look for 11 because she's kept separately. We jump into the sewers with the other group, and they're basically they're following like a trail of spores. If you've seen Stranger Things, the spores usually lead to a gate. As you can see, they do find a gate, and eventually stuff starts coming out of it. This is the Ninja Turtles introduction with the Demogorgons, because they start coming through, and it's just basically a fight, with the Ninja Turtles and the Demogorgons versus, the Turtles, kind of thing. We go back into the lab where they've been captured, which I think is kind of dumb. They kept them in the same place, but anyways, as their secret lab, so they're sneaking around and everything. They got the kids in the background. That basically at this point the turtles are kind of leading the way, and they do find out where 11 is being held. And they come into the scenario right here where it's like this machine that 11's hooked up, but it's also got Stockman hooked up to it as well. We kind of find out a little more about what's going on. But basically right now they're trying to figure out a plan, because there's all these scientists, guards, and Mousers that are kind of protecting them too. And plus they don't know what really is going on. We go back to the scenario with 11 and Hopper, and she's basically, back with that freedom pass, and to get that freedom she just has to get through a door, and she keeps trying to make it through the door, and she can't. And basically Hopper tells her that he needs her to use everything to open that door, including her special abilities. And we see, like, on a twofold kind of basis what's going on, and it's Stockman, and he's tricking 11 to open a portal there in this facility, wherever they are in New York. We also learned that this portal here is not really stationary, since it's in a subway. It's been moving all around New York, so there's a possibility of Demogorgons and the upside down running around all of New York. At this point, it's just basically them trying to close this gate, which doesn't really happen, but they do. They eventually kind of try to push them through, but it's kind of the first interaction with the Turtles and the Demogorgons, and them learning that they're not just a pushover kind of thing. But neither are the Turtles. We go back to the lab, and we find out that they can't just unhook 11 at this point because their brains are tied in. We also find out that Stockman had this secret, evil scenario in case anybody ever tried to just stop them from doing what they were doing, and that included the scientist. He really had that set up for the scientist because he didn't believe that they would go through with the process because it was going to be, hurting a little kid kind of thing. Eventually we see Raph does get his size, and that's when he knocks out they take out all the Mausers and the guards, basically, getting a hold of the scientist, and that's when we learn all that stuff that I just mentioned. We go back over to the scenario now knowing what we know, and basically they get Raph to go in there and explain to Eleven that it's not a real thing that she's experiencing right now. And through all this, it's revealed that Hopper was Stockman all along. He was the only one in there with her. And eventually, she stops doing the portal. We go back to the real world with the subway, and like I mentioned, it's kind of like a stalemate with the turtles and the Demogorgons. And it's really due to the confined space kind of thing, because as the fight goes on, they end up losing most of their weapons. They're still fighting the Demogorgons, but at the same time, as you can see here, it's like both nunchucks, both swords are in the background, and the turtles are still fighting, while the kids are in the background kind of taking cover. And while this has been going on, the kids are like, okay, our two guys are fighting, our party needs our help. Look, some weapons just fell in front of us, it's time for an upgrade. And at the very end, we see that the kids do pick up the weapons and go try to help the turtles, which I can't imagine that would be any good, like ninjas, like, trying to avoid hurting the kid. No, I don't know. But I'm kind of excited for that at the same time, We do get a cover image from the next issue, and that's basically where this issue leaves off. I will say I do have a couple complaints, like this cover for one. We got Hopper, and he was in the book, but technically he wasn't. And then we got Casey Jones over here. He's not even in the freaking book. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they do that with covers, but I was kind of excited to see some of the other characters. But yeah, another small complaint is they're basing this off the original Ninja Turtles, where they all have the same red color. And it gets a little confusing, especially at times when they don't have their weapons, because you can't really, and they don't just call out each other's names all the time. So it's a little, awkward trying to follow your favorite turtle or know which turtles are talking kind of thing. Small complaints. I still love this series. I think it's great. The art is phenomenal. I love the action, and it's freaking dope. And I'm super excited to see where this is going. I think it's only a 4-issue series. We've got 2 more issues left. Hey guys, this is my review. Let me know down below what you're thinking about the series. Are you still in? Or, are you liking it? Let me know anything you want to know. Alright guys, that's all I got for you. Bah.